Welcome to How to Shadow Box. This is a very, very important course, guys, and a course that many people have been asking me for a very long time. Shadow boxing is a very crucial part of your training regimen. I've told people many times if we had to make a list of the most important things of training, shadow boxing ranks in the top 2. And the reason for that is if you can't do the techniques that you are learning without somebody in front of you, how do you plan to do it when somebody is in front of you? One of the main benefits from shadow boxing is you can actually do it with no equipment, and you can do it anywhere. You can do it on the ground like this, you can do it in a boxing ring, you could do it outside, you could do it in front of a mirror. Here, I'm going to go ahead and show you the techniques, show you different things that you can do. So without further ado, let's get into it. Yo, what's good, y'all? What is good, man? Last night, we had some interesting boxing, to say the least. We had Canelo Alvarez versus Triple G for the third time. And, we saw Bam Bam Rodriguez on there, who I'm a huge fan of. And we had Gabriel Rosado. He fought. A couple of other fights, man. We had some good boxing on last night. Definitely interesting. Definitely something to talk about. So we're going to go ahead and get started, man. My man Eddie Chambers will be in here in a few minutes, so make sure y'all stick around because I am going to chop it up with Eddie. I definitely want to do some Q&A with you guys. I definitely want to review the fight last night. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on it. I want to hear what you guys think about Canelo's performance, what you thought about Triple G's performance, and where do you think both guys go from here? So I'm really interested to hear what you guys got to say. So we're gonna definitely talk. I'm definitely talk to you guys. You know what I mean? Get your opinions and get your questions. Of course, we're gonna do Q&A like we always do. And but first and foremost, man, I want to make sure that everybody in here is signed up to my newsletter. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop that link in there, man, because what I'm gonna start doing in the newsletter is giving out this week. I'm gonna give out a tip every single day with a video attached to it. So if you're already part of the newsletter, if you've already signed up, there's no reason to sign up again. You're already going to automatically get the emails. Just make sure you whitelist the emails. And tomorrow's email, I'm going to have some video and instruction on how to whitelist. But you definitely want to make sure you're receiving the emails, or else you're going to miss some of these tips. I'm going to make sure that, I give you guys a different tip every single day this week. Okay? So make sure you guys do that. And if you don't have my phone number, make sure you grab my number, man. Make sure you text me at 215-709-5437. If you already have my number, then you just got a text not too long ago. And you was texting me last night, man. We was talking about the fight. It was dope to hear you guys, hear your guys' opinions. I was texting as many people as I could because I was sending out texts to everybody who, normally keeps in contact with me, man. So that was dope talking to you guys last night. So if you guys want to talk boxing with me, if you guys want to get daily tips, I'm always giving specials and deals on my courses and everything else. So make sure you grab my phone number, man, 215-709-5437. I'm the person texting you. That is me. You're not texting a bot. You're not texting somebody on my staff. You actually are texting me. So make sure you grab my number. And last but not least, man, I want to talk about, and of course, we're going to talk about the fight and everything, but I got to get this out. I've been going back and forth with my new offer. And we got something coming out called Coach Anthony 2.0. I'm still putting the logistics together of how I'm going to approach it. But all it basically is going to be all my courses plus access to me. So basically what I want to do is people who purchase from me, I want to be able to help you at a deeper scale. And people who's purchased from me in the past that's already part of the CA boxing community and stuff like that, you guys really got grandfathered in because I'm no longer going to be offering the CA boxing community to people who don't purchase this new bundle that I have. So it's going to be the bundle, okay, and it's going to be access to me in the community, plus it's going to be actual face-to-face, Zoom calls or whatever. And we're also putting together some other stuff on there, so I could, really help you guys take my stuff, my material that you've been studying, and help you with your sparring, help you with, reviewing some of the footage of your sparring, training, everything, man. You know what I mean? So for the people who really want to work with me, who are maybe in a different state or a different country, this is going to be a dope opportunity for you to connect with me, so I could really, really get in depth and really see where you're at. Because obviously, you can get the courses, and the courses are great, but it's also cool to, communicate with me and me to communicate with you guys to really help you grow even further. So my goal is just to provide more value. Now, something that I did was I took off all the individual courses from my site, and that was going to be my only offer. As soon as I did that, I got like 500 emails, no lie, man, of people upset. Yo, how you gonna take off the courses? I was gonna buy more courses. I only bought 2 of them. Now you're forcing me to get the master boxing bundle at this price, and I can't till next week. And there was just a bunch of that going on, and then a lot of other people saying like, yo, man, I don't think it's right that you don't, provide something at a smaller entry level. The master boxing bundle was great and everything, but right now I only could afford one course at a time, or whatever the case may be. So you know what? I had to listen to my people, and I bought the individual courses back. One thing I don't want to do is piss people off that's been supporting me for a very long time. So the individual courses are back. Of course, I'm always giving out specials and deals, so that's cool. We're gonna keep that going. Only thing I'm going to do is add more value to another offer. So if you guys want to go ahead and grab one of my individual courses, feel free. You can go ahead and grab one. And in the future, if you ever decide you want to up, and get more of my stuff, all you gotta do is contact me. I'll end up taking off whatever you spent with me and hook you up with the master boxing bundle in the future. That's something we could talk about at a different time. And of course, for the people who are here right now, you're gonna get the CA Power Hour 60% off. Right now, I'm promoting 50% off. You get 60% off all the individual courses right now. The 747 for the master boxing bundle, that's already marked down. There's no discount code for that because I already slashed that down. Okay, so now let's go ahead and let's talk about the fight. I just had to get that off my chest. Spend the first few minutes talking about what we got going on my side. I want to say what's up to everybody in here. My man, the lunatic libertarian in the house. My man K Dollars. What's up, brother? I seen you I was texting my man K Dollars last night, man. We was talking about the fight. No Farias. What's up, coach? What's going on, champ? My man, to the max. GGG should retire. Canelo should go to light heavy. I'm really not sure, man, what Triple G should do. Triple G was fighting Canelo Alvarez, so it's kind of hard to say he should retire, considering he's fighting one of the best fighters today. And who's? I mean, that's not too many people that are gonna look good against Canelo Alvarez at this stage of his career. There's not that many people that are gonna look good. Let's just be honest. So the fact that Triple G didn't look good in this fight, yes, maybe he's not on Canelo Alvarez's level anymore because of the youth or whatever the case may be. But there are some other fights he could have, and he also is a champion at 160 pounds, as he described after the fight. So I'm not going to necessarily say he needs to retire just yet. It is looking like he's at that point where he may want to start paying attention. But he didn't take a beating yesterday. He just never got his punches off till later in the round. If you really paid attention, he was blocking a lot of Canelo shots. He was getting touched. And yes, he wasn't looking like the Triple G that fought him the first 2 times. But he was able to make some adjustments. And later in the fight, he actually looked pretty good. Had he pressed the gas a little sooner, it could have been a different fight. So it's kind of a hard decision to make, to tell somebody to retire when they're fighting arguably one of the top fighters in the game. I mean, we don't know if Canelo's the best in the game anymore because obviously he lost recently, and we have other guys on the come up, and we got guys like Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, hungry lions like Virgil Ortiz, Jerome Boots Ennis, and of course the guy that he lost to, Bivol. And there's other great fighters right now, but Canelo Alvarez is still top tier. And the fact that he's top tier, you shouldn't rule a guy out when he loses to somebody who's top tier. You know what I'm saying? And as far as Canelo going to light heavy, Canelo says he wants to avenge his loss. So that's how he feels, man. I think Canelo has earned the right to do whatever the hell he wants to do. So whether that's light heavyweight, whether that's go to 160 and fight, somebody down there, or stay at 168. Canelo really at this point, man, he's just at this point, I think Canelo's doing, just sticking around for his own legacy and to make as much money as possible. But besides that, I also feel like, we're lucky to still have him still fighting, because at this point, what more does he have to prove? He's already fought everybody, that is in his, realm. Of course, there's certain names that he didn't fight, and I know there's gonna be some people who are gonna say, but he didn't fight this guy, he didn't fight that guy, and some of those things may be facts, but every fighter didn't fight every fighter on the come up. If you go back in history, when Floyd Mayweather was coming up, a lot of people said Floyd Mayweather ducked a few people, Roy Jones ducked a few people, and this guy ducked a few people, and that guy ducked a few people. So I think that just comes with boxing. That's just what it is. You're never going to make everybody happy. I just think Canelo's at a stage of his career that he can do whatever the hell he wants, man. You know what I'm saying? So if he wants to go to light heavy, cool. I'm cool with that. You know what I mean? G-Day coach, try G, Triple G. I was like, what the hell are you talking about? Triple G must continue to fight. He has 3 belts at middle, just lost to an undisputed champ at a higher weight, plus the money to be made. Yeah, man, basically what I just said, champ. I agree with you. There's still an opportunity for him down there. So it is what it is. My man, Coach Anthony, taking care of the people, man. Yo, I had to do it, man, because honestly, man, I thought I was doing the right thing by saying, we're gonna make one price, everything in boxing works. I thought I was doing the right thing. Turned out that's not what the people wanted. So, hey, man, I gotta listen to y'all. Y'all the reason that I'm here. You know what I'm saying? Doing what I do. So, and for the record, matter of fact, I'll wait till Eddie comes on. We'll wait for that. Isaac, what up, Coach Anthony? What's going on, champ? He should fight Benavidez or Billy Joe Saunders. I'm guessing. Is that what BJS pause? Is that what that is? Benavidez or BJS? Who's BJS? Billy Joe Saunders? Canelo should fight Better Beef or rematch Bivol. Man, I don't know about Canelo and Better Beef, man. That's a crazy fight for Canelo, man. I don't know if he wants that fight. Fight was over in the third round. Jonathan Banks said, "Gee, you're not doing anything we worked on. I need you to listen to me." That is what he said. But I just think that I don't know, man. When you're a little older, man, it takes a little longer to start the car up, like they say. So I just think that he was trying to weather the storm. He was trying to weather the storm, man. Definitely wasn't easy for Triple G to get started. But once he started letting his hands go, he looked pretty good. Do y'all agree? I mean, he looked pretty good. He looked competitive. Of course, Canelo Alvarez was already in the 8th round, so he's probably a little tired from punching so much, which is probably part of Triple G's game plan. He didn't want to get clipped early. He knew he couldn't keep up with the speed. His reflexes aren't the same. So it definitely, a lot of it had to play into, the age factor for sure. Do you think Canelo was exaggerating the hook too much? No. I think he was doing. I think he was doing what he always does. You know what I mean? He throws wide hooks sometimes. You know what I mean? He likes to feint low and throw the hook high. If you notice, he was setting up the overhand right all night long, man. He was shooting that right hand. I actually got a video on that, how to land the overhand right, somewhere on my YouTube channel. And he just kept throwing that right hand to the body, and then he threw that overhand over the top. And a few times it landed. Didn't land on the money the way he wanted it to, but it did land a few times. So I think that Canelo was doing good, man. Sometimes he'll drop low like this and he'll throw the hook high. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes his shots come out a little wide, but I don't think he over exaggerated. That's how he throws his hooks. Take action. Yo, what up, coach? What's going on, champ? GGG versus Javante Davis. Sounds accurate, man. Yeah, man. I mean, GGG should take on those fights. He's only lost to Canelo. And there are other fighters at 160 to 1 to 68. They should all fight each other instead of waiting on the Canelo sweepstakes. Yeah, the issue with Triple G is, he's already reached that age where it's like he's only got a couple more. And, it's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Um, it's really hard to tell what he got left based off yesterday's performance. It's just difficult to tell. I can't really call it. Uh, it's one of those things where I guess you got to give him one more shot. Give him a shot against, somebody at 160 like a Charlo or somebody like that, or one of those type of guys. You know what I mean? I just don't know. It's hard to tell. It's really hard to tell. Much love from Disneyland, Coach, man. Much love to you guys, man. In a few minutes, we're gonna have my main man, Fast Eddie Chambers, in the building. Let me go ahead and shoot him a text so he can pull up in here and talk to us for a few minutes. And guys, for the record, man, make sure you guys take my number, man, 215-709-5437, and make sure you sign up to my newsletter, guys. It's absolutely free. You guys can sign up to my newsletter. If you already signed up, you don't got to do it again, but I will be giving out tips daily this week. So make sure you guys sign up to the newsletter for some free tips. I'm gonna put video links and everything in the descriptions of the tips, so you have some visual references and stuff like that. So make sure you guys sign up to the newsletter. Very, very important, man. For some extra stuff. You know what I mean? Ward versus Canelo. I mean, we know that fight's never gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? But if it did happen, I would probably pick Ward. I think that Ward has the defense and the smarts to be able to beat a guy like Canelo. Are we gonna talk about some of that stuff, champ? We're gonna talk about some of that stuff for sure. Trust me, Eddie might have a little something up his sleeve, man. Cornelius Clay. D. Haney was on Twitter saying GGG was going with the wrong game plan, with his coach trying to get him working the jab on the outside instead of taking Canelo on the inside. What did you think about Triple G's game plan? I don't know what Triple G's game plan was because he wasn't doing anything. So it's hard for me to say that he was trying to control anything from the outside when he wasn't even punching for 75% of the fight. You know what I'm saying? He was literally just trying to weather the storm, if you ask me. I don't think he was trying to control the outside. He was more so trying not to get knocked out. And then what ended up happening was he decided to let his hands go around round 8. And I thought that he was doing well. So if round 8 through 12 was the game plan, I think he had a good game plan. I just think he should have started it sooner. I think that whatever he was doing from rounds 1 to 8 was not a game plan at all. I think that was simply just, let me just make it through this onslaught, because I don't know if I can handle the speed and the power of Canelo at this stage. So I think part of his plan was to conserve his energy, tire Canelo out a little bit, which wasn't a terrible game plan. That was actually a decent game plan. But the problem was he got started too late. You can't wait till the 9th round or the 10th round to let your hands go against a guy like Canelo who's piled up all these rounds. Well, at least we assumed he piled it up. I mean, 115, 113. What the hell was that? I mean, you know what I mean? So had he won another round or two, he might have got a draw and won the fight. It's crazy. GGG's legs look heavy, no bounce at all. I saw it from the first round. Yeah, man. I mean, 40-year-old fighter, man. I mean, you know what I'm saying? These guys are human too. You know what I mean? So again, his experience carried him through. His defense was able to carry him through. So it just showed the importance of a good defense, the importance of, you know what I'm saying, just experience, man. He was able to carry through, man, for sure. But I could say he definitely didn't look like the same Triple G that we knew. John Garcia, what up, bro? Yes, he did wait too long. Yeah, man, he definitely waited too long, man. He definitely waited too long. Both of them look 40, to be honest. I don't agree with you, Max. I thought Canelo looked pretty good. He looked like Canelo. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think he looked old at all. He looked pretty good. It was Canelo's done in this fight what he's done in most recent fights. Looked good for the first half, second half questionable. Uh, I think that Canelo over the years has adopted a style of using minimal movement with his feet to kind of keep himself in position to land big punches, good counter punches. He has good upper body movement. And I just think that Canelo has just adopted this style that's just what it just turned into. But I didn't think he looked old yesterday at all. I think Canelo looked fine. What's up, coach? I think Canelo did good. Nah, I think he did good too. I think he did what he was supposed to do. He's lucky that though the Triple G didn't bring more because, like I said, at the end of the fight, as soon as Triple G started punching back, Canelo started to look a little bit like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Same thing I said. Triple G was trying to conserve his energy and something has been off of Canelo. He ain't looked the same and explosive as before. His last two fights might be those injuries, he says. I mean, he did say he needs surgery in his hand and he can't hold the cup. And I believe it because a lot of fighters, matter of fact, most fighters have some sort of a hand injury. You know what I'm saying? Fighting, if boxing's one of those sports where, you know what I'm saying, you have to hide your injuries, you know what I'm saying, as opposed to other sports where showing your injuries may help you. In boxing, you're hurt, you can't show it. So, it sucks in that regard, you know what I mean? And he might have been fighting a few fights with a damaged hand, just wrapping it real good, probably getting some cortisone shots in it. But at this point, it sounds like he's gonna need some surgery. Well, he said he's gonna get some surgery. How will Canelo do against Benavidez? Canelo body is breaking down and still has stamina issues, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know, man. I have to wait to see the Benavidez fights a little bit, against another top guy or two. You know what I'm saying? I don't really don't know. I mean, Benavidez poses a big threat for sure. He's a big boy. Um, and I think Canelo, I don't think he's ever going to fix these stamina issues. I think that the issue with Canelo is he throws these punches with a lot of steam. And when you're punching hard, the way Canelo does throughout a duration of a fight, it doesn't matter how good your stamina is. That's going to be your you're going to get tired. Canelo doesn't set up shots with jabs and feints as much as like a Floyd Mayweather, does. And, so when he throws his hooks, he's throwing them with mean intent. When he throws his uppercuts and right hands, everything is mean intentions. He disguises it with some good upper body movement, but when he lets them go, he's throwing them shots hard. And I just don't think that it's going to be easy for him to make these changes at this point of his career to try to conserve his energy. I think that that's what you see is what you get. Canelo definitely should leave 175. He can't mess with them boys. I mean, listen, man, everybody got a cap, you know what I mean? And 175, Canelo started at what, 147 or 140 or 140? Which one? Either 140 or 147. So, light heavyweights, that's a big division, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially for a welterweight. You know what I mean? So size matters. Pause. Let's go ahead and bring in the man of the hour, the one and only Fast Eddie. You look
What's going on, man?
looking blurry, bro.
I don't know what this is, man.
You gotta wipe your screen.
Damn, is it that? Hold on one second. If I leave by accident, it's just me wiping it off.
There
Got a
you
little
go.
better.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, we here. We here.
There you go, Eddie. Eddie, man, what you think about the fights?
Honestly, man, at technical difficulties for the most part, but from for just kind of like I did just now. But man, it was like from what I could see, I think Triple G was just it wasn't so much I think he was trying to survive. I think he was just biding his time. He wasn't really, didn't have his foot on the gas early. It wasn't so late that he really started to get going. And he made it interesting at the end. And it's funny because we were talking about it a little bit. You were saying, damn, if he would have done what he was doing like later in the fight earlier, fight would have been another one of those like we don't know at the end. But I honestly picked Canelo to win via unanimous decision. And I figured it was, Triple G's a little older now, you know what I mean? Even though he's still of the elite class, he's just not what he once was. I mean, Father Time is undefeated. Everybody slows down. And but he has a little. I knew he would come and try and do the best he possibly could, but I just didn't think he had enough to deal with Canelo at this point in his career, and I turned out to be right. But if he could have just got started a little sooner, but then maybe if he gets started a little sooner, he doesn't have enough at the end. Maybe he gets stopped. There's a lot of different things that could happen. So to be honest, I think he went about it the best way he knew how. The plan they had, you know what I mean, obviously kept him in there for the whole fight. And if he doesn't go again, we know he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. He's a great fighter. He had a hell of a career so far. I mean, if depending on the level of guys he's fighting in the future, I may want to see. But honestly, I didn't have that much interest in this because I just didn't see it as really, really competitive. But and it turned out not to be, where we would have thought, especially from their fights in the past. But at the end, all in all, I mean, still interesting night.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, I think that he could have got it started a little sooner. Maybe not in the first round, but definitely round 5 or 6. He literally started around 8 or 9, which was he did nothing in the fight to showcase that he can do that and possibly turn the fight around. Even though, according to the judges, it was 115, 113, which was crazy. Definitely not a 115, 113 fight, man. So anyway, moving forward from that, where do you see Canelo and Triple G going next?
Well, I think obviously Canelo, I mean, I heard him talk about it at the end. He's looking for that redemption with Bivol, which, I mean, like I said before, I thought that he was going to go right back into it and fight him again just because, people figure like, well, Canelo got pretty comfortably by him. He has to go set that straight, you know what I mean? So he could be back at the top. But I think he did it the smarter way. I think he fought a guy that he had a lot of trouble with in the past. And he went and showcased what, and then got the confidence that I think he needed back a little bit, which I didn't think I thought that he would go right back in and fight Bivol, but I think this was a smarter move. You know what I mean? I think him going and fighting somebody that he felt like he had obviously a much better shot at winning against, maybe giving him more time to work on some things. You know what I mean? Work on his pace, work on his, what maybe his punch count, anything in an actual live fight situation. With a guy who's tough and a guy who's strong, a guy who can punch, kind of get him, back into the right frame of mind for, a real challenge, a real big challenge which I think Bivol is for him at this point. Honestly, from watching the first fight with Bivol, I really don't know how he's going to approach this, but he's not gonna be able to try that big shot stuff, that those big shots, trying to get him to respect them or get him to feel the shots, maybe making him like get a little nervous, because Bivol doesn't have that in him. Even though he took a lot of punishment, on his arms and everything, he was still going to be there giving him shots, multiple shots, awkward combinations, stuff that Canelo's probably not used to seeing or wasn't used to seeing. But yeah, I think he's still going to have an uphill climb with that fight. But I think he can get back into it. He's just going to have to get used to using his hands, boxing, moving his feet a little bit, not just trying to bomb this guy out, because that's not going to work with a guy that's 175 pounds of solid like he is and can box. You know what I mean? He's going to have to change up that style a bit. With Triple G, I mean, there's still options out there. There's still fights out there for him. He still has belts at the other weight class, so he still can go back and do a few more things. I don't know how well he's going to do and how much longer he's going to be at this level, before he starts to really go down. You know what I mean? So he's going to have to get at it quick, and especially if he's going to try to fight another big name guy, this sharp and young, he's going to have to get at it quick and not wait too much time and get even older before he gets in there with somebody even more dangerous, at this stage in their career. So I think for Triple G, it's just about, if he's going to get fights in, get them in quick, get a couple of decent ones at a high level, get a couple more dollars, then start to take down the level of competition as he decides to exit. I think that's the best plan for him.
Yeah. I think from Canelo's standpoint, he did the right thing, because he had two close fights with Triple G. They were controversial. A lot of people thought won, lost, whatever the case may be, and now he kind of just sealed that, at least in the history books. You know what I'm saying? When people go back and they look at the box rec, you know what I mean, he separated himself from that situation, and that so for legacy standpoint, he did the right thing. Now he can go ahead and make a decision from there. I still would like to see Canelo against one of the Charlo brothers. I still think that would be a fun fight to watch. I would prefer to see him fight the Charlo brother, one of the Charlo brothers, or both of them. I would like to see him fight Benavidez. I would like to see him fight those type of guys, maybe even a Bubu Andrade. I would like to see him fight those guys as opposed to fighting Bivol again, even though I know in his heart he wants to avenge that loss. That fight doesn't even interest me as much as seeing him against a Charlo or Andrade or Benavidez, because to me, those are more realistic fights that he should have been fighting anyway, as opposed to trying to, he was considering going to cruiserweight and fighting the guy that you fought. What was his name?
Well, yeah, at one point, him, Michuno. But he was also, there was another one too.
Yeah,
there was another one.
And Usyk, you were considering fighting Usyk, which was just getting a little bit silly at this point.
Well, so I don't know about that. That's too much. That's a little much right there.
Yeah, Canelo got a little slice of humble pie by losing to Bivol, and I think that maybe it's the best decision for him to just stay away from Bivol. But I understand it if he decides to rematch Bivol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, you feel like you're invincible. You beat just about everybody from his weight class up to almost 175, up to the point he fought Bivol. It's like he feels like he can beat anyone. He felt like even going up the cruiserweight, he can go that far. I mean, I don't know about that. Obviously, he didn't end up losing to Bivol, so it's like, I'm kind of like you said, he got the humble pie. So I'm in agreeing that I think he should stay at 75 at the highest. Unless he finds a situation he can go at cruiserweight where he's almost like guaranteed to win. Like the guy's not going to be at the level enough to even come close to dealing with him. But even then, it's like, what's the point? You know what I mean? If you got to drop your level of competition that much, then you're fighting guys too big. Pause. You know what I'm saying? It's time to go.
So shameless plug. To move on to another fight from last night. I'm gonna do a shameless plug because I always gotta promote
Yeah.
the courses, right? I always gotta promote our stuff. And
Hey, no problem.
you featured in two of my best-selling courses, Angles and How to Create Them, okay, and How to Box the Opposite Stance. And somebody sent me a text message last night, and they simply said, I'm basically watching Angles and How to Create Them and How to Box the Opposite Stance and watching Bam Bam Rodriguez.
Right.
Now, Bam Bam Rodriguez is hands down one of my favorite fighters today. This kid got the angles, he got the defense, he got punch placement. He's literally like watching one of the courses that we did. You know what I'm saying? Even some defensive principles 101 and the Philly shell. He literally, I see him shoulder ride a few shots, then bring his hands up and then slip under shots and then cut angles. And he knew how to approach a orthodox fighter. Now, don't get me wrong, the kid he was fighting yesterday was game, and he looked good the first few rounds. Yeah. But man, just watching Bam Bam Rodriguez this year has been a complete pleasure. I think he's one of the best fighters I've seen in the last decade, man, as far as skills go. What's your thoughts on that kid?
No, I think he's once again, I had technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to watch everything like I wanted to. But I've seen a lot of good things from him, obviously. He has the ability to be, like you said, one of the best guys that we have in boxing. So I just wish I could have seen more of it. But to go back over what he did in the past and the other fight that he had that I actually was able to watch, it was nice. It was like when you watched High Tech. I don't know if they call him that anymore, but when you watch Lomachenko and how he uses the angles and throws certain shots, some of his shots are a little more unorthodox. Him being a southpaw is a little different. I mean, I guess not that much different. I mean,
as well.
That is right. My bad. So actually, it's a pretty good comparison.
If you ask me, and I don't want to sound like no Lomachenko hater, but I personally like how Bam does the angles better.
A little bit. Oh yeah, well, I mean, look, everybody has their preference, and they're both effective. You know what I mean? Very effective. So but watching Bam, like he's more the conventional style with it. You know what I mean? He does more things I think a little more conventional than what Lomachenko does when it comes to cutting the angles and doing some stuff, some of those things. And he's just sharp with it. His combination, like you said, his punch placement, his punch selection in certain situations is really, really good too. The way he is able to counter in spots at times that guys wouldn't want to try, although I try. Some of those counter shots that I saw him doing, actually, because I seen a few last night, it made me say, oh, damn. Kind of do that every now and again, especially when I'm fighting fighting the guy with an opposite stance. So I'm like, damn, yeah, and I'm not saying I'm at that level of it at this point, especially. And I don't really do a lot of that stuff all the time when I'm fighting. Most of the time I try to make it as easy as possible, use as little energy as possible, especially when you're slugging it out with those heavyweight guys. But the way he does it, sharp, the head movement, you know what I mean, with his keeping his hands in the right place, making sure that he examines the situation and uses the process of elimination, understands that certain things happen in certain situations and how he deals with it is really awesome to see. And I would love to see him more. You know what I mean? And even fights with higher stakes. And I know it gets tough because we talk about, like him being what is he, 115, I think it was, and he moved up.
Real smaller weight classes, so those guys don't get as much shine.
Right, and that's why it's like now, so he has to literally do kind of what like Pacquiao was doing, and he got to keep moving up in order to get with some of the guys that people recognize a little more. In order for him, similar to what Lomachenko has to do too, he's got to move up a little bit more so we can see him in there with guys who are more interesting for us to watch him with, and it kind of puts him in a tough spot.
It's gonna be hard for him because as he goes up, those guys are gonna be too big for him. But he is really a special talent, and you can learn from him. Like if you're a bigger fighter, if I was a bigger fighter, an active fighter, I'd be watching Bam Rodriguez and stealing stuff. Honestly, like I'd be stealing. Stuff. I'd be like. Thanks for that. Thank you for that. I'll take that with me. Like he's just a talented guy, man.
Hey, listen, if you're a fighter and you haven't stole from some other fighter, you doing yourself an injustice. You should be working. Listen, when you see experienced, talented guys do things, I don't give a damn whether they're younger or older than you. If they're in a situation or a position that you're not in, and you could take something from them and it help you get into a higher spot, a higher position, why not? What they gonna do? Put you in jail? Is it copyright infringement or some crazy shit like that? No. Take that shit and use it. If it works for you, ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. They're gonna be like, damn, I do that move too. That's what they're gonna say. And
Right.
you gonna get the credit for being smart enough to steal it. You know what I'm saying? You know, you want that opportunity, you want that money, you want that fame, you want all whatever the hell you want, whatever you're doing it for. You know what I mean? If you see something that you think improve your game, if you watching some of the things that we do in defensive principles and how to fight opposite stance and those courses, if you take stuff from those courses, I mean, some obviously you're paying for them, but the reality of it is, if you take stuff from those courses, that's what you're supposed to do. That's why you purchased them.
Well, the crazy thing about with the courses is, when I first started a YouTube channel, I never sold courses. I was dropping videos at my own pace because obviously I owned a gym. I was busy running the gym or whatever, and people started asking for those courses. So that's why they started getting made, and that's when I started saying, who can I get to feature in these courses? I'm like, who else would I get? You know what I'm saying? I get the best guy in the world, Fast Eddie Chambers. But
maybe Bam Rodriguez.
People really underestimate educating themselves through visual learning. Everybody thinks that they need somebody in front of them. Everybody always thinks they need to be on a heavy bag. You can learn from courses, film study, just a conversation. How many conversations have we had where we bounce ideas off of each other? And you're just like, if you understand boxing, if you understand the fundamentals, I can literally talk to you and you could visualize it, and then you can go work on it the next day. I've learned like that so much in my life. You know what I mean? Talking to educated trainers and stuff like that, where I'm like, oh, I got that. I understand exactly what you mean. I'm going to implement it tomorrow with my guys. So how can somebody ever deny educating themselves with courses or film study or anything like that? It's just a small mindset to think that it's not going to benefit you.
Listen. When I fought that fight with Tomas, I never really went into the gym and focused on how, like, if I lost the ability to use my left hand in a fight, that I would switch. I didn't actually go. I was switching the gym and work on it and practice that just because, you know what I mean? I like to be able to do both sides, pause. But if I lost the ability, if I lost the ability to use my left hand in a fight, I was like, man, me and my brother, we just talked about it. Me and Steve, we just sitting and talked about it. Like, what would you do? Like, if you couldn't use your left hand, like, how would you react to it? And then all of a sudden we talked about it. I was like, man, I'd probably be switching back and forth. I'd probably use it as a counter right hand to get off the big shots. And then if I had to worry about, if I wanted to get my punches off, I would then switch and go from southpaw and use it as a jab, maybe the hook, maybe different things like that. It ended up happening. And just from the conversation, and don't get me wrong, being prepared from you being a southpaw in the gym, that's exactly what I did. Didn't even expect to have to do it. We didn't go over that in camp. We never worked on that a day in camp. It just happened. You know what I'm saying? So definitely talking through things. Those courses, there's no doubt about visual learning. You can absolutely do it. There's no doubt. If we can have a conversation about something and then I go and do it in a high level professional fight, trust me, you can do it with visual learning too. 100%.
Well, that's why I'm so excited about what I'm going to do, man. So what I'm bringing in, and I haven't figured out all the logistic yet, but Coach Anthony 2.0 is going to be basically for the people who want more, right? So I told people, remember I was telling you last week, you're not even up on this. So I took all the individual courses down from the site, right?
Okay.
And created one offer. Well, that was a mistake. Everybody and their mother cursed me out through email. What are you doing? You think you're gonna charge us that? But so I put them all back. Make a long story short, all the individual courses is back. I ain't pissing nobody off. I value my team. I value my people. But for the people who do want more support, I want to do something where when they purchase the Master Boxing Bundle, they also have access to guys like me and you, Eddie. Like, really, I
Yeah,
would love for
yeah,
you to
absolutely.
get involved with this if this is something you're interested in, where
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
can actually have, personal time with you, personal time with me, pause. You know what I'm saying? And they can they can ask us whatever they want to ask.
Yeah.
They need more. They want us to watch their sparring. They want us to give them tips on training, give them whatever. We can give them that, and that's the beauty of the internet right now, and that's what we're really trying to take this to the next level. We got a fire video that we're dropping tomorrow too, Eddie. I'm gonna drop how to beat the Philly show.
Oh my gosh.
Yo, we killed that video. Guys, if you guys are not
Damn.
subscribed to the YouTube channel, you need to subscribe right now. Okay, put the bell notifications on. I'm about to do all the back end work. And yeah, hold up. This is Coach Amp bless us with 90% off all the courses.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah. Hey.
I'm gonna make sure that I take the code off that I got for this guy. He gets 0% off now.
98%.
Zero. Now you don't even get the same power hour. You're done. All right, I'm gonna get your address. You're done. No, I'm just kidding. But yo, how to beat the Philly show. That's gonna be a crazy video. Talk a little bit about how much fun that video was to make.
Well, it's always fun, man. You know what I mean? But it's the information that you exchange. You know what I mean? When you got two boxing guys, two boxing minds in there together creating content, but just creating a whole bunch of other stuff, magic. You know what I mean? If you want to call it that. It's just a lot going into it. You know what I mean? There's so many things. I don't want to give anything away, but there's so many details that are in those videos that sometimes you don't. I guess you could say the naked eye. You know what I mean? If you're not a boxing guy, it's really hard to see. So it's good to have coaches that can point out details like that to you. So now when you watch it, and these are things, and this is YouTube content, so this is free stuff. This is like just for subscribing, you get an opportunity to see this. This is really this is extremely beneficial to your boxing and your boxing career, even for some guys who are experienced, things that you might not think about. Sometimes, like I said, I'd be there with you. We'd be talking about different stuff. Me and Steve, me and Bashir, we always be sitting there just talking about different things, different scenarios, right? And creating, we could be creating courses with them things.
Yeah, honestly, that video that we're posting tomorrow, I feel like I shouldn't even put it out for free. I'm gonna be honest. I feel like I should charge for it, but you know what? I want to make sure that the people who follow me on my, subscribe to my channel are still blessed with high quality content. So I'm going to make sure, because I haven't been posting like I have, because I've been focusing on the back end. But guys, be ready for tomorrow's video, how to beat the Philly show. I'm going to make sure I schedule it today, probably sometime around noon Eastern time. That thing will be released. And please just do me a favor, y'all. Like the video and share the video with a friend. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who you think would appreciate it, man. Help me, because that helps me. When you share it, I get more people watching the videos, and it helps the algorithm. And I feel like that, sometimes people forget that. So just, do me that little favor. I would really appreciate it. Drop a comment. Tell me if it helped you guys. I'm going to launch that tomorrow, Eddie. And Eddie, real quick, you got something that, you ain't tell the people yet. Why don't we talk about that before we get up out of here? What are your thoughts of the future of what you got going on?
Yeah, I mean, recently I've been more so, selling myself as more as a trainer and all of that. And yeah, I'm interested in getting people in shape and teaching them to box, but I still have aspirations in my boxing career too. Things are still rocking. So, I plan on fighting soon. It could be this coming month or the next one after that, early the following month. We're looking into it. We're trying to take the necessary precautions. You want to be in the best shape you can. I'm not young anymore like I was. So, we got to really, really take this thing serious. You know what I mean? And that means, you go in there a little older, your health is not the same as it was when you were 21 starting. You know what I'm saying? So it's almost to a degree, not necessarily like I'm starting over, but because I have a lot more knowledge of what it is I'm getting myself into. So the training is going to be better. You know what I mean? The details are going to be, attended to properly. I'm not going to make the same mistakes I did as a youngster when I was doing it, even if I had all the right people around me. But with that youth helps you get through some of the, the stupid mistakes you might make when you're young. But now that's not there. So now you got to kind of weed through all the bullshit, for lack of a better term, and focus on the things that are actually going to make you better and keep you healthy as you're doing it too. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's going to be an interesting aspect of a journey now. You know, in this part of my life, you know, like I said, I'm 40 now. I'm not even in my 30s anymore, which is crazy. But this is a new thing for me. Being the oldest guy in the gym, that's wild. Well, the oldest fighter in the gym, that is really wild for me. But yeah, it's a process. I just got to make sure I'm ready to deal with it, and you know, getting in there and being the best possible shape, being as prepared as I possibly can to handle the business I need to handle.
All right, well, we on it. You know what I'm saying? So y'all heard it here. Y'all heard it here first. Eddie Chambers is definitely looking to fight again. Nothing set in stone as far as an opponent or a date yet, but the training will start ASAP, I should say.
Yes, sir.
And I'll be documenting a lot of this stuff either through writing down what we're doing. It won't be just me. It'll be me, Eddie, and his other trainer, Bashir, who works side by side with Emmanuel Stewart. So we're talking about just tons of boxing knowledge. I'll be documenting a lot of the stuff that we do, Eddie. That'll be for our privacy, but we'll be keeping everything documented. Let's just keep it that way. You know what I'm saying? For our own, so we can go back and look at how the fight played out, and if everything goes good, we'll know exactly what it is. You know what I mean? And maybe we'll share some of that with the people. You know what I mean? Later in the future at some point. You know what I'm saying? That's what we're definitely.
There'll be some dope content to put out there, man. To really let people see what it's like to be in a real live camp. You know what I mean?
Right. That's something that we'll talk about in the future. But right now, let's just get the ball rolling, man. And guys, make sure you guys go to the website, CoachAnthonyBoxing.com, man. I'm giving 60% off for everybody who's been on this live. And a quick thing, I'm only keeping my live streams up for 24 to 72 hours from now on. I'm not keeping the live streams up permanently on my YouTube channel. And the reason for that is it just makes the channel look, you know, really, to me, ugly in a way, because it's hard for people to navigate through the tutorials, and I'm really known for tutorials. So when I do these live streams, the best thing to do is try to catch it, you know what I'm saying, when it happens, and then I'm just they're gonna be gone. So I say that to say, when you guys come to these live streams, for you being that loyal and showing love, whether you're watching it live or you're watching it 24 hours later, if I give some kind of a special like this for anything that we got going on the site, take advantage, because once this video is down, it's gone. And I don't know, I don't have a live schedule. I don't go live every day. I was going every day in November last year. I haven't been live really that much this year. You see what I'm saying? So it's not like we just use this as a marketing tactic. This is just genuinely me feeling good and giving you guys, you know, showing you guys love for showing me love. We don't ask for super chats or nothing. I actually prefer for you guys to go ahead, grab a course. You can have something that you can hold on to, study, watch, all that good stuff, man. Eddie, any final words?
No, man, just keep on the lookout, man. We got a lot of great content coming, as well as, you know, things in my career, as well as, you know, what Ant's doing. You know, it's a lot of good stuff coming. I think we got a hell of a thing coming for 2023. And there's a lot from the training aspect to the fighting aspect, man. And I think we got it all covered.
All right, so real quick, man. I like to end the last 5 minutes on this live with some Q&A. If you guys got any questions for Eddie, since Eddie's not on here all the time, drop some quick questions. I give y'all till it's 53 minutes in so far in this live. All right, we're gonna stay on for 60 minutes. So if you guys want to go ahead and ask Eddie some questions, now is the time to ask Eddie questions. We've already talked about the Canelo fight a bunch of times. We already talked about everything else. So now would be a good time for you guys to do Q&A and simply just ask boxing related questions that are, you know, for Eddie. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes to catch up with that. We'll start it in 5 minutes. If not, we'll keep it moving. But yeah, Eddie, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see you sparring tomorrow. I'm excited to see you spar. Haven't seen you spar in a long time, man. So I get a chance to see you move around.
Yeah, I had a couple of sessions a little while ago. I think it was last month, just to kind of knock the dust off, knock the rust or the dust off of the gloves and everything, just to kind of see how I feel. You know what I mean?
All right, honestly, Eddie, we got a question for you right here. Eddie, why didn't Triple G throw any right hands?
Honestly, man, I don't think he had the confidence to throw any big shots early. I think he was worried about more so what was coming back. And you get that time every once in a while. You're a little apprehensive to let the shots go when you're seeing too much hot shit come at you. You know what I mean? And you really don't know how to react, especially if the guy's countering your jab well. He's like, well, damn, if you're countering my jab real nice, what the hell are you gonna do when I try to throw this big shot at him that might be slower coming from farther away? It honestly makes it hard sometimes. And when you're not the speed guy in there, when you're the slower guy, your timing has to be on point, and your focus and your understanding of what's going on in front of you has to be even better. And I think for him, for the first early part of the fight, he was just completely out of sync. Like he couldn't grasp what was happening in front of him enough. You know what I mean? And that's why it took so long for him to get started, I believe.
Okay, we got another question right here. How do you get in touch with teams about potentially getting paid? Come in for sparring, Eddie or Coach Ant? Thanks.
You want to take that one first, Ant? I mean,
I mean, for me, you know what I mean. It just depends on if you got the quality work that we're looking for whatever we're doing. You know what I mean. Like, so for instance, I got a kid that I train, Raymond Ford. If we're getting ready to fight somebody who, let's just say, for example, is a right-handed fighter who's 6 foot tall, and you happen to have a 122 pounder or 26 pounder or 130 pounder or somewhere in that area, a guy that can potentially give Ray good work, and you're willing to come in and work, then yeah, we may be willing to pay you for that sparring. So it really just depends on you having the quality fighter that we need to get us prepared for whatever we're trying to get a hold of. And the way you get a hold of those teams is just simply having the relationships with certain people in the game. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might have the guy, but you might not know who to reach out to. So what you got, Eddie?
No, it's just basically being the style that they need for that particular situation. But it's also, getting your name out there. You know what I mean? Even as a fighter, even not even in sparring necessarily. Maybe you fought a few guys and they recognize you from that, and you're a prospect. But maybe you were sparring. Maybe you were sparring another guy who's in your area who's a pretty decent name guy, and they say, "Oh, he did real well with him. I think he would be good to bring in to this camp." That's how it happened for me. I had a pretty good name around the city of Philly. And he was like, yeah, he spars real well. And then they start bringing me to, major camps. So it's just, give yourself a good, give a good account of yourself when you're in the sparring, not trying to necessarily kill everybody, but, go in there and try to leave the best print of what your game is on these guys. And I'm telling you, they'll talk about you and they'll send you plays to get you some money for it.
And that typically happens when you have experience. If you're a good amateur, if you won some big national tournaments as an amateur, your name gets around. Trust me, people figure out who you are. The pros heard about you, even though you may not be a pro. So just keep doing your thing, and trust me, you'll get all the sparring you want and all the sparring opportunities you want, man, as long as you're doing your thing and you're on top of your game. But if you're a guy with no reputation, no experience, no nothing, it's going to be a lot harder for you. You're probably going to have to show and prove, you know what I'm saying? And you might have to go through some bumps and bruises in order to do it. But if you have, competitive experience and, coaches, talk to coaches and that's how that usually goes. You know what I'm saying? So just keep doing your thing, and eventually you'll have so much sparring lined up, man. You'll be giving away sparring. You ain't going to want to spar everybody who wants to pay you. You're going to be like, nah, I'm good, man. I'm turning that down. So just keep doing your thing. You know what I'm saying? He said, thanks for the reply, mate.
No problem.
Yeah. All right, guys. So I think we're gonna leave it at that, man. We've been on here for 1 hour. And that's typically where I like to cap the lives, guys. So we've been on here for 1 hour. I just want to say thank you to everybody that showed up, man. Make sure you guys text me at 215-709-5437. That is really me replying to every single person who texts. That's not a bot. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And make sure you guys go to the website, man. The CA Power Hour, 60% off simply for being on this live. This live would only be up for maybe 24 hours, maybe 72. I'm not sure, depending on how I feel, depending on what kind of numbers it does. And other than that, man, if not, you know, if you missed the 60%, later on you may be paying some more for the courses. So I appreciate you guys for that. Eddie, I'll see you tomorrow in the gym. You got some sparring lined up. And guys, make sure you get ready for tomorrow's video. How to beat the Philly shell, man. I want that video to go viral. So I need you guys to, you know, put your bell notifications on. So when I go ahead and drop the video, you guys can see it immediately. It's like a 15-minute long video, man. It's a good video. We went in depth. Okay, it's literally course level stuff. You guys are gonna love it. And see y'all tomorrow, man. I appreciate the love. Guys, my name is Coach Anthony. I've been a professional boxing teacher for over a decade. I've worked with numerous world-rated professional boxers, world champion boxers, and even amateurs at the Olympic level. Over the years, I've created courses that are going to help you improve in different areas of your boxing, where I teach boxing fundamentals and I teach tactics and I get in depth. Guys, there's going to be a link somewhere on the screen. I want you guys to click it because I'm giving a special offer. I need you guys to invest into yourself. You don't have to walk this boxing journey alone, guys. I'm here to help you, and that's what I really want to do. So click on the link. Go ahead, invest into yourself, and learn how to box and stop trying to figure this out on your own. Boxing life.